Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We are back and we're feeling a lot more energetic this week. We're the Hat Club today.
Yeah.
Although I do feel like you should be sporting a Bitch You Can cap rather than a Nike one.
Get me one, I'll wear it.
Will you actually?
Yeah, why not?
Will you actually wear it?
Yeah, I'll wear it.
I'll get you one.
Yeah, go on, I'll put it on right now. Bitch, we can.
Bitch, we can. Do you love it?
I love it.
You love it? Yeah, you want it.
Thank you. So it's been a bit of a crazy week.
It has been a crazy week.
We've got ADHD Amy now, which was no surprise to anyone, really, was it?
What do you mean? It was a pure shock. It's a shock to the system. What do you mean?
How do you feel about it?
I don't know, really. It's a weird sensation. I almost feel like I can just release a little bit extra now. Like I was just living my full life, but I feel like I can just dial it up a bit.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm ADHD.
Scary, really, isn't it? You're going to go to town now.
Yeah, let's go. I don't feel any different. I just, if anything, just makes a lot of my life make sense now. How do you feel about it?
To be fair, it's no different. You said this to me the other day, didn't you? How do you feel? I said, it doesn't make any difference to me because I love you either way, didn't I?
Cheers, bro.
So I suppose I understand you a bit better.
Yeah.
Just say to the kids, just calm down. You're overstimulating your mum.
So when are you going to get your assessment?
What, for autism?
Can we share? Can we
Yeah, go
share
on
what
then.
happened? That was this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's this week as well, yeah.
Please share this story. It's just so fun.
So I went for a consultation and I was talking to a woman and she goes to me, are you autistic? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. And she was like, I think you're autistic. My husband's autistic and he's like you. He's just like tunnel vision. You know, there's no like, because I'm pretty shit at everything else but fitness related, to be honest. And
No, not just shit, anything. But
I'm just not interested.
I've said it for a few years,
Well.
and I'm like, I think you are a bit autistic.
Thanks.
So that is quite funny that happened this week, and then I got a diagnosis this week, and
We booked Disney.
oh, I'm going to Disneyland.
Yeah, for Amy's 30th.
For my 30th. How exciting! I am starting to feel like I am becoming a Disney adult because this is for my birthday, not the children's.
Yeah. And on Amy's birthday, we're going to have character dining, not once, but twice. Once in the morning, and then again in the evening.
And Oliver wasn't best. He was like, because I said princesses, and he was like, oh, I went, remember, it's my birthday. He was like, all right.
Yes, it's been a bit of an up and down week.
Yeah, but do you know what? It's been a good week. It's just been a bit of a roller coaster ride. Been feeling a bit of pressure, but it's been a good week. Better than last week. We was really flat last week. We'll come back with a vengeance.
We're back. We wanted to base this episode around what I'm having a lot of conversations with, which is why have I not got no motivation and why am I starting again every single week?
Mm-hmm. I hate to break it to you, motivation ain't going to carry you.
No.
I think we might have mentioned this before, but motivation don't mean shit because it comes and goes, especially with life in the way. Because, you know, if you got kids, busy. You have a job, busy. Trying to look after family, busy. Trying to navigate your own life, busy. Hormones, busy.
Crazy head.
Busy! You don't feel motivated every day, and nor are you meant to feel motivated every day.
No, you're going to get ups and downs.
This is a conversation after the oh, by the way, our freebie that went out.
Yeah, we're attaching to the bottom of this.
It's in the bottom of this video. So if you want my free plan of how I lost 3 stone without going to the gym or starving myself, that is down in the description. But so many people...
I was
It's
going to
like,
say,
go on.
and they'll also be part of our email list, which I get top quality emails every single week.
Yeah. Sorry, we can't have a conversation about, like, chopping and changing and cutting in. We're nearly at 1,000 comments, which is pretty wild. Pretty insane. So the DMs have been very crazy this week. So you either would have spoken to me or Luke, and we've been chatting back and forth with so many people, and that is the reoccurring theme, isn't it? There's nobody that's coming on that wanting that plan is a pure beginner. There are people that have tried so many different things and they feel like they're at a lost cause.
Everyone's lost weight at some point in their life. The issue is keeping it off.
Yeah, 100%.
Because and this is the most important part of this podcast, and it's like talking about the actual strategy and the mindset. If you go and work with a coach and they help you lose, I don't know, a stone, and during that period it's too hard. So you're basically sticking to it, but you feel like you're getting punished every single week. There's no real positivity, and you just feel like you're suffering. It's going to get to the end of that, and you're like, I can't wait to eat normal again. And you're going to put all the weight back on.
If you punish yourself, starve yourself, or cut out all the things you enjoy, it's similar to some of the well-known weight loss groups, shall we say, where you go to a old fucking school hall and weigh yourself every week. And it's similar to where it kind of wrecks your metabolism. Mm-hmm. That is also a real life thing, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
So, like, once you've lost the weight.
Yeah, let's say you're doing a weight loss jab or you're doing one of these weight loss groups. Well, what tends to happen if you go too low in calories and too low in protein and you don't work out where you train your muscles, then what happens is you lose muscle and fat. So if you jump on the scales and it goes, you know, you've lost 9 pounds in a week, well, that's clearly not a good sign because you can't lose fat that quick. So what else have you lost? Because you can only lose a certain amount of body fat so quick. 1 pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. So if you've not gone more than minus 3,500 calories across that week, you have to have lost water and fat. What else could you have lost?
All about muscle.
Sorry, water, fat or muscle.
The thing is that it's really interesting of the psychology behind it, isn't it? Because you might get somebody who loses, like, I don't know, 6 or, like you say, 9 pounds, and they're like celebrated for it, they're buzzing for it, yeah, this is great. Then they start chasing that dopamine every week and they want to do more and more and more. And then the weeks where they lose like a 2 or a 3 pound, which is a bit more realistic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know 100%, but a bit more realistic. They then punish themselves for it. And then that's when they go, well, I'm not going to fucking do it anymore because it don't work.
Yeah, and this is the problem with judging the progress of the scales rather than just following the plan.
Fucking chuck them in the bin.
Chuck them in the bin. People should listen to me, really, because I've been doing it for 15 years. I've changed so many people's lives. And it's not like I'm just a flash in the pan. I've just become qualified just round the corner. And I've got no information to go off. You know, this is all proven stuff. It's not my opinion. This is all factual stuff. It will change people's life. As long as they stick to it for long enough, it's a consistency over a long period of time that makes a difference, rather than just, you know, cutting calories too quick, not being able to sustain it more than 3 weeks, and then you're going too hard. Motivation drops because calories are too low, training's too hard, you can't stick to it. Fast forward the next week, you've then eaten too much food, you've not trained because life's got in the way. It's like, would you go realistically from training 0 times a week to training 5 times a week and then cutting calories, not eating carbs, 10,000 steps a day?
Getting up at 5.
Yeah, then the next week, you're going, well, that was too hard, I can't stick to it, so I'm not doing nothing.
That's it, isn't it? It's a punishment, and then you avoid it, and then it's like, well, that's it, I'm not doing it, it doesn't work for me. You know, it's like, it's not about, I think this is where maybe people get it twisted, and I'm just going to add on the back of your experience and your clients of what you just said, and there's also, your clients don't go backwards.
No.
Even if they're like, do you know what, I'm going to go on my own. They've got the information, they know what they're doing, and they don't.
Habits.
They've built the habits. That's the difference. You're not just blasting someone for 12 weeks and saying, right, let's fucking lose as much weight as possible. There you go. And then they're like 6 weeks in or whatever, and they think, this is too fucking hard, I'm off, see you later. And then they put on even more weight, and then they feel like so disheartened because then they feel like, well, I've tried everything, so that must not work for me. But your client, literally life changing.
Yeah.
And like some of your clients it's been, you know, like, I mean, think about Jerry in America.
Yeah.
From when you worked on the cruise ships. That was what, 11 years ago? Mm-hmm. No, 12 years ago this year.
Is it? 11.
No, 2014. And it's 2026. It's 12 years ago. And Jerry, because you sometimes have contact with him still, don't you? Mm-hmm. And he's still implementing these things, right?
Yeah, and I met him for a week.
Yeah, you met him for a week.
This is just to give you an in-depth of my style of coaching. I could have just trained him for an hour on a cruise ship with a PT session and just beated him in the gym. But I said, what will you learn? It's up to you. We can either do a PT session for an hour, you get a good workout, a bit of a sweat, and I'll say see you later. Or we can go in the office and I can actually write down a plan for you that you can stick to forever around your goals that you want to speak to. So I did. Took him down, took all his body measurements, and I said, these are the amount of calories you need to stick to for weight loss. Once you've lost that weight, then you need to stick to this amount of food. You right there? Keeping you awake?
I tried to say.
Even she can't handle the podcast. Why have we got anyone else listening to it?
I was trying to say discreet. I'm so sorry.
So I said, go on, Muttley.
So, sorry, keep going.
So I said,
going.
you know, we're trying to keep it professional here, aren't we? We're a professional business.
We're a professional team. We like a bit of banter, darling.
Yeah.
You're not going to
So anyway, I was like, Jerry, look, mate, this is what you got to stick to. These are your weight loss calories. When you've lost the weight, you don't want to stick on these calories forever. That's weight loss calories. This is your maintenance calories. This is what you need to do. This is how many times you want to go to the gym a week based on your goals. And this is the exact plan you need to stick to. So 11 years later, he's still sticking to
12
it.
years later.
12 years, he's still sticking to
He's
it.
still sticking to it. Just from speaking to you for literally, like, seeing you for
An
a
hour.
week and speaking to you for an hour. That's it.
But he did
So-
love it, to be fair. He coming up every day at the gym. He's like, oh, Luke. He's like, when you see him on his holiday, he kept coming up to the gym just to chat to me.
That's so cute. But that's just what I can't remember what else I was saying now, but basically in the sense of that's the difference, isn't it? And that's why it's branded as a Stop Starting Again coach, because through what we teach, and obviously through my teachings as well, with the actual habits and the behavioural change and how you actually see yourself
Mindset.
and the mindset, yes, that is such a big part of it.
I want to speak about another client, and she's just recovered from cancer in her leg.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I do a community walk, which is local to us. And she came along there first time. She could barely make it halfway.
She had a cane as well.
Yeah, she had a cane, and she's getting halfway and walking back. And I was like, well, to be fair to you, you're smashing it because you could be sitting at home doing nothing. So
Absolutely.
you're already winning. So each week came past, she got a bit stronger, a little bit longer she walked for. She goes, how do I start strength training? And bear in mind, she trains online. This isn't in person, this is all online, all virtual. She's done some strength training. She's done a few workouts.
With us, by the way.
Yeah, with us, yeah.
Not just some random off you go.
Professionals. Work with
The
us.
profesh.
Work with us.
The Huns, the real dream team, as we keep getting quoted as, and I'll take it.
Power couple. Chrissy started weight training, basically, in a nutshell. And now, she walked the whole walk and back, takes dogs.
No, hang on. Let's paint the picture perfectly. So bearing in mind when she first come on this walk, and now this is not an athletic power walk.
Yeah.
This is a community walk. This is more for mindfulness to get us all out and having conversations. And I actually love it, and our kids love it as well.
Yeah.
And the people you get to speak to and the conversations you have, we've met so many interesting people, haven't we? And had such amazing conversations.
It's
Anyway,
unbelievable.
so we just do that. It's just a community thing, and anyone's welcome to come along.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we so she come to those walks. She came with a cane. Didn't have the confidence. She was not certain on her feet, was she? And she would go halfway, and then she'd go back again. So again, built up her confidence doing the strength training. Then one week she did the whole length and back with her stick.
Yeah.
Then a couple of weeks later, the stick was left at home. She did the full length and back, and she was keeping up with everybody and chatting away and loving it. And then one week she comes with a dog.
Yeah.
And her dog, so she's got 2 dogs, and they are not small dogs. They're like lab-sized dogs, and they do like to pull. So she brought a dog. And then she started bringing both dogs. So then someone else would walk one, she'd walk the other. And then recently, she's brought both dogs and doing this walk. And how old is Chrissy?
70.
She's 70. And how many people would sit at home
Yeah.
at that age and think they're done, especially after having cancer in her leg and being not certain on her feet? And how many people just sit at home and say, think that's my reality now, and just accept
Which would
it?
be much easier. And the big transformation, really, is her mindset.
Absolutely.
She's booked her first holiday abroad.
She's going
With
to
her husband.
Benidorm, and it's the
Whee!
cutest thing ever, and she's so excited. It's the first time she's going abroad.
But she said to me in our group WhatsApp we've got, she couldn't have done it without the support of everyone.
Exactly, and that is why it's so important.
Human connection.
Human connection, motivation, round like-minded people, not having people fucking, questioning what you're doing and having them outside limiting beliefs coming in. But the thing that really got me, I was chatting to her a few weeks ago on the walk, and we were just chatting away. I said, you must feel so good, so proud of you, this is amazing. She's like, I feel incredible. And she said, it's amazing. She said, my kids, they've got their mum back. Rather than her feeling like, she's just done for and she can't go out and enjoy things. Now her kids have their mum back. She can enjoy with time with her grandkids, and that's everything, isn't it?
Yes, that's literally what it's all about.
That's why what we do, we're so passionate about, because it's not just a fucking here's a meal plan. go and blast yourself in 12 weeks so we can have a good before and after picture in your pants. Bye.
See you
That's
later.
not it. It's about, like you said, human connection, community, actually changing people's lives. We aren't doing this so that you're always in this cycle, because in my opinion, and this might be a bit controversial, I might piss a lot of people off and trigger a few people, but I'm going to say it anyway. In my personal opinion, I think out in the moment, and I'm not a tinfoil conspiracy person, but I believe all these like weight loss things out there, some of these pop-up coaches, in my opinion, it's to keep you in the cycle so that you keep coming back, and you have to spend the money and you have to invest, and you never come out, because they don't want you to fucking better yourself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, because you see it all the time.
I was having a good conversation with a client of mine who's leaving next month. And do you know what I said to her? I said, I think you're ready. I actually have no issues, because I genuinely believe that you'll stick to this, because she's worked really hard. She's going through a knee replacement as well. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like standard weight loss. She's also lowered her blood sugar levels down, as well as going through a knee operation, and also doing a rehab around that as well. Again, all online.
Yep.
And I was like, no, I do genuinely believe that you're so educated on what you need to eat. You're not a robot. You're still going to obviously eat other things. That's fine. But I said, I think you're ready.
And that's exactly what we're about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We want to help as many people as possible. And to do that is actually rewiring and changing your habits, changing your beliefs, strengthening you as a person, building your confidence, building in habits that, you know, once you wire habits in, like they say, a small change every day creates habits, and habits are hard to break. And once you have your habits in place, then, you know, you're winning. And that's exactly what we do. And then, you know, we've got clients that have been doing this for years, you know, 4 years.
Yeah.
From the get-go, the OGs like have been with you since day one. You get some clients where they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go off and do my thing. They might be like, oh, I'm coming back because X, Y, and Z. I just feel like I want the accountability back, and that's fine too. There's no wrong or right way to do it in that sense, but it's just about. I think that was just something, because I see it all the time, and I speak to so many people where they're like, oh, I'm now doing this crash diet, or I go and do this
and they're
weight
working
loss
with
group.
lots of different multiple coaches, and they're thinking that, oh, it's the coach that's the problem as well. Like, I've gone from one coach to another coach to another coach, and a lot of these coaches, especially on Instagram, they're basically like copy paste, aren't they? Copy and paste. They're all just saying the same thing. Do 10,000 steps a day. Work out 3-4 times a week.
I don't want to shit on anyone, but it's just tough when you see it unfold. I think it's tough when you have people come to you that have blamed themselves and been been thinking that they can only do it through punishment, when actually I think that's why we just aren't the stereotypical.
Well,
we talk very differently, and we probably would piss off a lot of coaches because
we're just telling the dead truth, and this is how we want people to better themselves. Over the time you're working, you get linear progress,
and you
can sustain it as well.
With habits, and this is another thing and this is what I personally love and dive into, is like the way you work around habits is like habit stacking is making sure you get a reward after your habits.
A lot of coaches just go, well, I want you to stick to this meal plan. They'll take like allergies and stuff, obviously, but they'll be like, I just want you to stick to this meal plan, and it's all foods that they want you to eat, which is more of a dictatorship, really, rather than foods that you want to eat. Whereas I'll be much more along the lines of, see how your food looks for a week. So you do me a meal plan, and
food diary.
Do me a food diary for a week, and I'll see how you eat and like the trends. Whether the weekend you might eat a bit more, in the week you might eat really well, and in the weekend it might be like all your calories are bumping up. So I'll stick to that trend. I'll go, right, let's do 5 days of lower calories, because that tends to be what you're doing now. And on the weekend, we go a little bit higher, because you clearly like to eat a bit more and indulge a bit more at the weekend. So we'll stick with what you eat. Yeah, exactly. It's human beings, aren't we?
It's fucking weekend. Live your life.
So I would then drop the calories down in the week, so then they get more flexibility in the weekend. But overall, over the 7-day period of an average of calories, they're below enough to drop body fat. And then I was like, do you think you could stick to this because it's all round foods that you actually like? Don't get me wrong, we've still got other foods in there for health and, you know, proteins, etc. to keep you full. But it's the proteins that they want to eat.
Yeah.
So if they're
100%.
vegan, vegetarian, whatever they may be, it's the foods that they want to eat.
Adapting it to what they want,
Yeah, and that's why they stick to it, because it's like they like the workouts, because it's all based around what body parts they want to improve on, what posture, injuries, mobility, health conditions they've got, structuring it around that with a technique. With the principle is we've got to get them moving more. That's the principle. The technique from every single person is different. And you can't just give one training program to someone and expect the next person to want to do it.
And that's it, isn't it? That is literally it down to a T, and that's what you see time and time again. It's everyone on these same fucking meal plans and what they need to do. Like, I'm sorry, but there's going to be some people that, you know, can easily hit 10,000 steps, and then there's going to be people that are like, actually, I can only really do 7.5. Okay, let's fucking factor it around that then.
Because most people that I train are not athletes. They're
Who
not gymmies.
is? Let's be honest.
They're not gym goers. They're, in fact, if anything, they don't really like the going to the gym.
If you're an athlete, you're going to have an athlete coach who specialises in athletes. You're not going to... That's what I mean. Like, it's so difficult.
It's normal people that I coach.
Literally, just normal people. And normal people... I know sometimes we feel like, oh, we're the only people who are going through what we're going through. The only people hurting, the only people struggling. But actually... Everybody, every one of the clients between us both that we've worked with individually and as a team, every single client between us that we've ever had has had something.
Yeah.
Has got something going on or something in life. Like, even if you're someone who hasn't experienced things yet, you'll yet to experience things that are going to affect you in life. And we need to all stop thinking we're the minority. Actually, we rise together in numbers, and that's something we're really advocate on, is like speaking out and chatting. That's why we do this
walk.
walk.
Community.
That's why we have
and
a
that's
community.
why we got the group community and the client portal.
Yeah, the client portal with the group community, absolutely. It's so
and the
important.
group coaching calls as well.
And the
then
group
the
coaching
events.
calls, and the events that will be coming up.
It's about the human connection, because there's
Absolutely.
2 proven ways to better your life. Number 1 is strength training, and it doesn't mean you have to go to the gym, because strength training could effectively be sitting down and standing up.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be going to a gym. In fact, a lot of people I coach do train at home.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even go to a gym. If they want to go to a gym, that's fine.
My biggest transformation,
Yeah,
I didn't
stone.
step foot in a gym.
Yeah. So it's a
Not
misconception
once.
that it's a gym that makes you lose weight.
It's not.
It's not. It's the rest. It's the daily actions built up, the habits, that make the biggest change.
So it's like when I go to the gym, and if I see somebody doing maybe an exercise, and I'm like, that's definitely come from, you know, an Instagram post or something. Like, there's no shade with that, but you can see with that person, and I see it a lot, and you can tell they're getting disheartened with it or struggling with it maybe because it's not tailored to them. And then what happens is you notice you don't see them for a while, so they're not going to they don't come to the gym anymore, and then they might come back in a few months' time. Then you don't see them again. And they're in this stop-start cycle because they're punishing themselves, because they think they're the problem, because they're following generic advice that isn't tailored to them.
Yeah.
Which then
absolutely spot on there.
does end up being quite dangerous, because then you get into weight loss jabs, surgery. You start going down that because people think they're the problem and that nothing will work for them. And I'm not shitting on anyone that's had surgery. I'm not shitting on anyone that's using the jabs, because there's nothing wrong with that if that is what works for you. But what I'm saying is, it's to do with the mental capacity of you think, well, I am like, it's because I can't do it. And that's what I'm saying. That's the danger, is that limiting belief. Because let me tell you something, the amount of people that I have worked with or spoken to over the years, especially coming from my background in aesthetics, a lot of girls and men, but a lot of girls that I've worked with predominantly have done jabs and or have had the like gastric sleeves, and honestly speaking, a lot of them, like, I was more happier before, like, I'm actually miserable now. And it's because they've not rewired their brain. It's because they're still punishing themselves. They still think they're not good enough. They still think they're the problem, when actually, if they just actually had the right help.
Yes.
I'm not saying like
that's powerful. That is.
I'm not saying like surgery or anything's wrong. Like, I'm an advocate. Fucking you be you. You do what you need to do. And
they're all
jabs,
they're all tools, aren't they?
The jabs are tools, but it's nobody's educated on, are they? It's
no,
getting a bit
mad.
better now.
It's crazy. And I said to a client the other day, who, to be fair, has actually been on the jabs.
You work with a few.
Yeah, I work with quite a few clients that are coming off it, and I've helped them come off it. And I'm like, well, you've lost loads of weight, but you've lost weight too quick. So you've lost muscle and fat together. And that's what people don't realise. Which is a dangerous aspect, because that means your metabolism's lowered down, because the metabolism is dictated by how much muscle mass you actually have. So if you haven't got much muscle mass, you don't burn many calories. If you've got a lot of muscle, you burn more calories. It's, you know, you think of muscle as part of the engine of the body, whereas the fat is just the excess. So where I was going with that is if you lose lots of muscle, you start to lose your shape, and then you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you think, don't actually look any better. If anything, I look a bit worse. I've lost all my muscle, I've just got loads of skin. So then what you're trying to do is then build the muscle back up that they've lost during the time of taking the jab, assuming they've not worked out and not ate enough protein, because most people that do the jabs eat hardly anything, to be honest. That's why they lose so much weight so quick.
Yeah.
Some people eating like 2, 3, 4, 500 calories a day. So we've started to implement the reverse to gain the muscle back on. But then you jump on the scales and you go, what's going on? The scales are going up. We're building muscle. Your body's like been depleted of muscle and food. You want to put this weight back on because you want to put muscle, but you're not gaining fat. Just relax. You're not gaining fat.
Yeah.
You're gaining muscle. And it's just that like trying to flick your brain to go, weight isn't the problem. It's the fat that's the problem. You want to lose fat. So when people say they want to lose fat, lose weight, I go, no, what you want to do is lose fat. You don't want to lose muscle because the muscle's your longevity. The muscles protect the body. Having more muscle mass reduces the risk of long-term health conditions as well. And that's where longevity and life is, in the muscle, because that's your strength, that's your movement.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm very much you do you, boo, like whatever works for you. But actually, let's just dig a little bit deeper, because why are you feeling the need to do that? Let's see if we can rewire it first. And that's why we do a lot of what we do, isn't it? And the work that we do, because it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, everything goes hand in hand. It starts with you first. It's like working inside out, isn't it?
Yep, like I said on the last podcast, your mental being and your physical being, you can't have one without the other. It doesn't work, and that's why so many people are in such despair, because usually both are out of whack. Life's hard. Let's not be like fucking Rainbow City. Life is hard, you know, it's quick, it's fast paced, we're always on social media, we're being inundated with negativity, beliefs, scaremongering, you know, there's a lot happening, a lot of comparison. Think, like, back when in your granddad's era, however old you are, back in your granddad's era, was he glued and seeing what fucking Jeff's doing down the road? No, he wasn't. He wasn't comparing himself. He's just tending to his garden, living his own life, and not worrying about the fuck Jeff's doing down the road that is green, grass is greener than his, because he ain't looking at it on Instagram. So it's very interesting, like, we're human beings, and this is something I saw the other day, and it really made me be like, oh my God, like, because I was like, wow, that was a really nice reminder. We are humans. We are designed to create, not consume. And we consume
loads, I mean,
so much every day. First thing you do, you pick up your phone in the morning. Your alarm goes off, you pick up your phone. We consume. We're meant to create. And that consume, it leads us to comparison. Comparison's a thief of joy.
Wow. Powerful.
That's why I'm the mindset lady.
That's why she's the mindset lady. So anyone who's listened to this, if you're like, I actually have no idea where to start, you can just reach out.
Just reach out. We're not like going to be like, wah!
No, you're not going to be pushed into anything that's not suitable for you anyway.
Have genuine conversations. We are real people. We're a husband and wife. We have children. That was another thing. We had someone who comes on a walk and just basically was like, I can't believe I've never met a couple, especially a young couple, who just care about people so much. And we do, don't we?
Yeah, that's ultimately what it's about.
We just care about people. And, you know, like we've said before, we truly believe we've not been through all the shit in our lives on our own journeys and as our journey together, and come out the other side how we have and built our lives to not share it with other people. Like,
yeah, we've been through a lot, and that's what makes you a good coach at the end of the day. Is, like I said, it's not a dictatorship. It's about coaching you. So even down to the exercises that I will give someone, it is on a call where I go, can you do this exercise, and have you done this before? And they go, yes or no. And if they say no, I either coach them around the movement if it's something I really, you know, would see them getting a lot of benefit from, or add in exercises that they would prefer to do. So down to the exact exercise is what that person would enjoy. So if you've got a training program, which you don't hate, ideally, because although I ask Steve every week, Steve had a stroke and lost half his brain, and I say, do you like exercise now, Steve? He goes, no, every single week.
Bless his heart.
But if you are enjoying or not hating your exercise, and you can see why every single exercise is in there, and the explanation I give someone is all of your training program has a purpose behind it. I can explain to you exactly why you're doing that rep, exactly why you're doing that rep range, exactly why you're doing this exact movement. It's not because I saw it on Instagram and thought it looked good. I can explain the whole program from start to finish, the exact food, the exact training, and I can explain to them why they're doing it for their goal.
And that's exactly why that lady said, "Are you autistic?"
Exactly why, yeah.
Because
most people just, there you go.
your knowledge is like, I'm not, again, it's not to shit on anyone else, but yeah, your knowledge is like next to none. People are always like, wow,
Yeah, but that's only because I'm autistic.
No.
And I just dive into one subject.
Yeah, you're tunnel vision on it, aren't you? But there's worse things to be tunnel vision on.
Helping people and change their lives. That's what it's about, isn't it?
100%, that's it. Please reach out to us because we're just happy to have a conversation, and normally a lot of people just take a lot of value for one conversation.
Yeah, and at the end of the conversation you go, I've taken a lot from it, thank you very much. I'll say, cool, wicked.
See you later. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, or they might decide to come and work with us. And that's
then
also
perfect.
Yeah.
Join the team. Let's get into it. Let's change your life. Either way, we'll be rooting for you. That's it. Because everything is from the power of conversation. Just one conversation could change your whole narrative for how you move forward. So it's very important. I'd say that's a nice wrap up.
100%. I enjoyed that one.
I did too. That was really fun. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, rate and subscribe on whatever you are listening or watching this on. It would mean the world to us. It would really help push this podcast out to anybody that would need to see it. And also please share it with somebody. Anyone in your life who you think would benefit from this conversation, please just send it their way. That's us, over and out.
Good one, Jonesy.
Good one,
Enjoyed
Jonesy.
it. Make sure you look after yourself. Have a great week. And we'll speak to you soon.